Planet Dolan. From witnessing a boss's sexual escapade to a customer offering up a tampon, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the most embarrassing things that happened at work. On Danger Dolan today, I'll be on narrator. Number 10 was submitted by Ma, Todoroki Girl. Princess Burton once worked at her school's cafeteria. On the last day of school, she had just finished checking someone out when she got a call from her boyfriend's spinal palm. Thinking it was an emergency, Burton excused herself from helping her next customer and took the call. While on the phone with Spinal Palm, he said, "I think I got my sister pregnant." Burton wasn't sure whether or not he was joking, but what she was sure of is that the cell phone was on speaker, so the entire cafeteria overheard the conversation. That's when she ran to the back room and turned her phone off speaker. After that, she quit her job in the cafeteria. Number 9 was submitted by Starlit WTF. While in high school, Mimi worked at Starbucks. One Saturday, she woke up late for work and had to get ready fast. The only pants she had were white ones, so she put them on even though it's against the dress code. Later that day, while taking a customer's order, the customer asked Mimi if she needed a tampon. Confused, Mimi asked the woman what she meant. That was when she looked down and saw blood on her white pants and on the floor. The woman gave Mimi a tampon, who immediately went to the bathroom. Shortly after the incident, Mimi quit. The people in these stories seem very ready to quit their jobs at a moment's notice. Number 8 was submitted by elisabethcannon. Andy used to work at her grandparents' pawn shop taking inventory. One day, while stocking the shelves, her grandfather asked, "How hard is it to be a teenage girl going through puberty while in junior high?" Andy stood there for several minutes with customers staring at her. Embarrassed, she ran to the back room where she stayed for hours. Later on, she finally worked up the nerve to go back out. Thankfully, the customers were gone and her grandfather had left for the day. Number 7 was submitted by JohnnyVO92. One time, Gorgak worked at a private care facility for mentally handicapped adults. On the day where they took some of the residents shopping at Walmart, he decided to wear some pants with a tiny hole in them. The hole was so tiny that Gorgak didn't mind, since nobody could see it. After driving back to the facility from shopping, Gorgak climbed into the back of the van. He began to unload it when he heard a loud ripping noise, so he went to the bathroom to check his pants. That was when he saw a giant rip along the back of his right leg. The tear started from his calf to his butt, showing his boxers. Despite his best efforts to try and hide it, his co-workers and the residents saw and started to laugh. Since then, Gorgak always makes sure that his pants don't have holes in them. Number 6 was submitted by MiraculousFoxyLady. One day, while carrying boxes at a store she worked at, Pecan saw a group of teens around her age videotaping her. She wasn't sure why, but they were also laughing. Just then she tripped and fell to the floor. Since she couldn't see in front of her because of the boxes, Pecan failed to notice a giant stick in her path. While checking herself to make sure she was okay, the teens told her they were going to upload the prank on YouTube. Then they laughed, telling her that she was stupid for tripping over something that clearly didn't belong there. Pecan turned bright red with embarrassment. After realizing she was okay, she got back up and carried the boxes to the back room. Then she got rid of the stick and told her co-workers to be on the lookout for teens who were putting up hazards for video clicks. Number 5 was submitted by BappyBoi. Martian was once hired by his grandparents to tend to their horses and dog for 2 weeks. During that time, while running with the dog, he tripped over his own feet and fell. The dog tripped over Martian and fell on top of him. They ended up tumbling down the lawn as they were on a small hill. When they stopped, it looked as though the dog was teabagging Martian. His mum and friend, who had gone with him, were on the ground dying of laughter. Even though it was only his mum and friend who saw what happened, Martian was still embarrassed. After that, he made sure to be a little more careful when playing with the dog. Technically, it's not a work story, but let's just say that running with the dog was his job. How embarrassing. Number 4 was submitted by Piglettv. Melissa was on her lunch break when she heard moaning coming from the employee restrooms. Once she was done eating, Melissa walked into the restroom to find her boss getting gang banged by 7 dudes. Wow. Shocked, she turned around and walked out. While walking out, her boss asked her if she wanted to join in the fun. Melissa refused and continued walking out of the restroom. The next day, Melissa's boss fired her for telling everyone what she saw. I know, from 0 to 100, a nice little dog story to a gangbang. Number 3 was submitted by Glassman Project. One time when Sid was working as a server at a buffet, a couple came in and sat at a table. It just so happened that one of his co-workers was already sitting there eating his lunch. Sid couldn't figure out why they sat at the table when there was clearly someone already sitting there, so he went to the couple and told them that the table was already occupied. The woman said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we can move to the window, I enjoy the view anyway." As they were getting up from the table, the woman reached for something in her purse Sid's heart dropped when he saw it was a walking stick, the kind blind people used. He looked into the couple's eyes and noticed they were blind. He felt so bad that he made sure they had an enjoyable time there. Sid, you bloody rapscallion. Number 2 is submitted by Red Fire Blue Ice 12. Hellbent and his previous girlfriend were working at a store one night during a blizzard. Rushing in was a hooded man who had just slumped into one of the aisles. The man came up to the front with 7 2-liters of Dr. Pepper. When Hellbent saw his face, he saw that it was his dad. Not a big deal until he saw how pissed off he was. His dad was angry at him for not doing the dishes before leaving for work. So after buying the soda, Hellbent's dad pulled down his pants in front of his girlfriend, the rest of his co-workers, and the customers. Hellbent never forgot to do the dishes after that. Number 1 was submitted by LENZIELALA. When working at her job at a local store, one of Paprika's friends asked her if she could sing. What the hell, thought Paprika, until her friend offered her $300. Willing to do anything for money, Paprika began to sing. Singing in the store wouldn't have been a big deal if she didn't practically scream every lyric. It failed horribly because all the customers immediately looked at her as though she was crazy. It's the most embarrassing thing that happened to Paprika at work. Huge thanks to the folks on the Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. So guys, what's the most embarrassing thing that happened to you at work? Let us know on the Reddit page linked below and you might be featured in a future countdown. This video was made possible by our fans over on Patreon. Thanks for your support, guys. That's it for this video, and have a good one!